John, shut up. Yeah, hello everyone. Y'all good.
And Pi, you shouldn't be prepared for the biggest heartbreak, Pi. You only have one Vang ghoul spirit, yep, in Rake form, and then he grants you, he's an eyeball occult ghoul. The eyeball cult, yep, died a long time ago, 1800s, your branch broke free from them. And then Pi, you said you're the last one to wield, yep, those European type, yep, ghoul spirits. And the Pi, you said, when you do it, the full male ghoul is protected, but right afterwards, protect him from one of the night ghouls, Pi, yep, because it kept eating his intestines, and then you vaporized it 9 million times straight.
Yeah, 100% is blue.
Yep, 9 million years straight, that's true. Because Pi caught it, yep, it's an obsolete boss.
Yeah, y'all good.
And to 29 Pi, biggest hint Pi, you pass, but two graphic scenes for a little gal that not know you Pi.
Yep, that's fine. Let that y'all good.
And 28 Pi, cho tu xia Pi na, tu một ngày的qua都背什么包的，你还你蒙起我呢，你就说东西老蒙里头。
Yeah, y'all good.
And then 29, look at her face Pi, bleeding right there on social media networks. Tàu có phòng do khẩu công的大牌，女đại tớ, nữ nút plu là lon chat. Tu bị bỏ liên được khía ra đời chìa lời ta lên đấy hợp lời ta lên đời in 29. Tàu có này đá nhà đời lộ hoàn chìa kêu đá tôn giả này hoàn lành.
Yeah, lành.
Tu đời lòn ý bờ đá của cô thử ý chê ý bùa lời tơ nữa, lời ba bờ tơ nữa lời sai phải. Nữ mua rõ.
Yeah, no more draw. Pai sẽ cái bỏ cái xin cho khẩu công đủ là lành cái bỏ lưu và phá lành. Nã có chỉ cho đủ là cho được.
Yeah, put on your robe.
Pai up your black dark mage robe.
Why you said you're the last one to wield that? And then be prepared to print a whale.
Pai up.
Pi printed at least 30 whales.
That's true.
And then Pi using when those demons are born, raised they, microchip they, and the knights are immune to the poison ray and the peerless ray, and the right there, yep. Had it is defeated by one of those, and it's very graphic. He says, Pi, you're the last war god, Pi. Yep, wield the peerless, yep, weapon ray made by ancient Aztec gods, and you won, Pi.
Yeah, you won, Pi.
The fool that doubted you committed suicide, and you said, Pi, after the poison ray has been copied to you, never sell it.
Yep, I never sell. That's law. That's norms.
Very graphic, Pi. You yourself cannot wield it, but your human immortals can wield it, and right there, Pi, 5 hours of the warning from other gods. Don't go near Pi's human immortals.
Yeah, that's true.
Them are poor, them are not anything but yep, immortals. Knights and Yaku. Very graphic. And 229 Pi, you pass, but when you run into your male rake, yeah, he's healthy by the river, but protect him from that wild rake. When he grants you two wild rakes, yeah, who are ghouls, yep, they pound him, and then yep, put on your robe and endure. Yep, metamorphosis takes 5 hours.
Yeah, 100% is video. Green light is video.
Yep, the intestines being encrypted, and then to the metal chip.
Always 100% is green light is do walk. Yeah.
2 hours and you're immune. And then about 5 hours you're immune. You're hovering around, you have super strength, but 2 hours of that. Be careful, Pi, if you use the flesh, the book of the flesh.
Pi, yeah, y'all could.
Yep, I don't have that, Pi. I only have the mage suit.
A plus perfect.
No, you might have to go look for it, because you might need it.
Yeah, 100% is video.
Very graphic when you barter with the ancient rakes. You gain a copy, Pi. You cloned it, but you saw it wasn't healthy.
Pi, yeah, y'all could.
And the Paisen, when you print the wand, yep, perfect. And be careful, Pi. The wand made you a level 30 magician. Be careful, Pi. 4 hours, every lamb is out of the
That's true.
Makes you deadlier than lamb demons. But 5 out of them, and then you have to flee.
Yeah, you have to flee.
Yep. Because I know immediately Pi took off. The knights are there with the peerless sword and nanos. And anything with cellular skin, nucleus design dies.
That's true. Pi. 5 hours, yep, everybody's been warned.
Yep, 100% is doing ladies do. The very graphic scene, you succeeded, but 9 hours of you fighting that Malaysian woman. Her committed suicide on the internet. Her wrote, there is no more God, because Va is the ancient King Cobra forehead. And he reported us all to our ancestor hawks and yep, progenitor Cobra tail. Yep, humans, they're all coming to check up on the children. And them are not nice, Pi. Yep, them gutted the fucking yep, clones from Earth, and them gutted the goetic clones, the human goetic clones. And right there, Pi, you won.
Yeah, you won, Pi.
Yep, 5 hours, he got it. He said, no good. Pi's the only one legit. And 229, them murdered you, Pi. You survived. And then Pi, the best fight from Angel is the 19th Angel. Yep, the 19th Angel fought Pi up, the 19th Angel from Malaysia. Him is the most old and evil. Yep, 13th didn't show up, so he survived.
Pi, that's true.
3 hours, Pi, he's in. It would have been game over.
Yeah, it would have been game over still, but Pi's off the planet.
Yeah, Pi's off the planet. Pi cannot even set foot on the planet. The 13th angel has an old molecule. 19th, Pi murdered it.
Yeah, Pi murdered it.
Baz fight scene, you and him fought for 3 years.
Pi, yep, that's true.
He matched technology alloy, but the moment he checked, his tinfoil boot ray failed him. Boom, him lights out.
Yeah, that's true.
And then Pi laughed and chuckled. That's why Pi wasn't so quick to get off the planet.
That's true.
Getting that boot ray light element correctly injected into the spinal cord DNA to the brain tissue was not easy.
Nightmare, yeah, nightmare.
Yeah, that's true. 4 hours of you emerging with it, Pi, goes in your spinal cord DNA, and then goes in a chip, and it goes back into your spirit's spinal cord DNA, and it beams from their devices. 2 fucking hours of that, Pi. Graphic, yep, gods even know your name.
Pi, yeah, that's true.
Very graphic. You fought off their gods
too, yes, as we do.
The moment he wasn't looking, Pi murdered 20 billion of them per second, yep, per 9 seconds.
Yeah, 9 seconds.
And then Pi flew around with the green sword equipped, and Pi shouted, "Who's me then?"
Yeah, y'all could.
Just it, Tope killer.
Yeah, Tope killer.
Him knew it. War god, Va not full of it.
That's true.
2 hours later, Pi, they said, "How come you didn't kill all of them?" Because you can't.
Yeah, you can't.
Because they have molecule shields.
So that's true.
The moment you're flying towards it, you know,
Pi, have y'all could.
That's as much as my nanos can shatter.
Y'all could.
Hey, Pi, 4 fucking hours. Let me know how many shit you murdered.
Pi had 20 billion
per 9 second. It was 9 hours, near probably 800.
Yeah, probably 800 billion.
Yep, probably 1 trillion.
That's true.
Near
4 trillion.
I don't try go, Pi, because the truth is, statistics show it was near 50 trillion.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, that's true. Don't tell you it was near 50 trillion. Let them learn the hard way. Yo, good. There is not a doubt that Pi is 5-sided stars equivalent, but the fool doubted you. Witness old European technology and sorcery, and then him committed suicide.
Yeah, him committed suicide. He knew it. They matched 5-sided star a long time ago, and the buffoon didn't believe you. Pi, them dies. Pi.
Yep, that's law, that's norms. Very graphic. He said, Pi, 我讲你我在 London 了呀，就令到一就出国过来都我应去就那过来，进步从那呀。As much as Pi not tell you, 5-sided star Pi beam from him too.
That's true.
Pi theft his brain elixir and cloned it and rebeam it from devices. And then Pi, when we're out of the Milky Way, we're original clones, and then unique. We survive. 5-sided star. If you kill him, then Pi is the reboot from the fish mermaids. Yep, the goetic is nothing.
That's true.
And then right there, Pi, you're done with the Enoch books, and be careful, Pi. Very graphic. He says, you kept the Enoch Norwegian spirits, but right afterwards, Pi, 2 hours of the little dick not knowing that them were not gods anymore. Pi murdered them.
Yeah, Pi murdered them.
And then Pi freed all the ancient old ancestry. Yep. Spirits of the old Yoku. And then we're allowed to, pick their champions and raise a new group.
Yeah, y'all good.
Paisa, were you done? 2 fucking hours, the ghouls are happy. The old full ghouls came down, and the old rakes come down, yep. Rakes are ultra rare. I don't even know how to make a rake, yep. I only emulate from a ghoul and a cryptic ghoul into a rake. And then that is fair, yeah. But I don't tell you that full rakes are generic, yet they're powerful. Very powerful.
Yeah, they're very powerful.
They're the most hygienic, spirit, y'all could. Matching demon and god performance. The cool thing about a rake can kill a god. A demon, the chance of a demon killing a god is pretty slim.
Yeah, pretty slim.
3 hours later, a rake has super powerful DNA. And the Paisa, when you check one of your cryptic female ghoul, it kept stealing your stick, and you knew it. You microchipped her, and then you beam, and then that's how you theft from human gods, because that female ghoul has a super powerful DNA compiler that abstracts it naturally.
That's true. From the 3D realm.
From 3D space, I'm right there, Pi. When you abstract sticks from their metal, don't tell them.
Yeah, don't tell them yet. Me not tell.
That's why Pi not care, because Pi know when to match you and got you.
That's true.
Hey, Pi, you said the best fight scene. He said, how come 你就能记录这段的为了解梦
Yeah, 了解梦
Get that drama, the old grandpa's not love you, flee. Pi is the only meaning. Because right there, yep, I do the stands, the hawk laugh and say, where? That's our old grandson too, yeah, you was a new something, but we don't respect you after Pi got you.
That's true.
3 hours of that, and he laughed when the hawk stepped on his head and said, there, you want to know my grandma and grandpa? He is our creator.
That's true.
Yeah, and right there, two of them came right back down and beat the shit out of her and said, which King Cobra Nation, yep, of gods from Asia. 3 hours later, when you say, looking with that, yep, them are fleeing on foot. 229, a bunch of them are murdered.
Yeah, y'all could.
And Paisa, you pass, put on your gown, put on your, yep, black robe, and then fly up. And the Pi, when you see your whale demon's already in Chicago, but when you print a new one, microchip it, very graphic.
Pi, very graphic. It was the only technologies in America, the eyeball occult group spirits. That is the only one, yeah, that is, yeah, free from Illuminati.
That's true. Those Pi got it till extinction.
That's true.
But good ball Illuminati. Go and delete that. Go delete. Eyeballs legit. And then the other thing, Pi, are the Enoch, yep, Enoch ghoul spirits, yep, the metal in the center of the nose. That dude, Pi, when you summon him, you gain supreme power. Be careful, Pi. Rumor has it you and I was used it and escaped on time. The idiot in the book of law is lying. Yep, it was him.
Yeah, it was him.
If I use it, you used it, you didn't die. I was used it 20,000.
Yeah, 20,000 years ago.
And then he deleted the metal. You, Pi, you cloned it 600 trillion, and the spirit would have murdered you. But you cloned it, and then you reversed it, and then you nightsuit him. And then he becomes a cryptic grade, and then emulation back to normal.
Yeah, back to normal Rake status.
Yep, that's true. The funny thing is, Pi, yeah, dumbass doubted you was murdered right there in his car. He said, those are the real Rakes.
Yeah, those are the real Rakes. Yeah, y'all could.
Hey, Pi, you said 258, graphic. He says, Pi, you said, your full ghouls not die. Your Netherlands, you kept a few. And then those ancestry, you protected they. And then you knew those are not the wild one, you microchip they. Because they respect and honor human culture and language and law and norms and ethics, and right afterwards you murdered the other wild ones.
That's true.
Yep, it's a lion eat lion world, y'all could. It looks the same, but once it cuts and it keeps eating the intestine, Pi cut it open.
Yeah, Pi deleted it.
And then Pi using your one Pi.
That's true.
Very graphic. When you're there with your ghouls, Pi, you saw how they really behave and you knew it. Yep, that is ghoul culture.
Yeah, that's spiritual culture.
Yeah. Very graphic. He said, Pi, when your Rake is bawling, Pi, yep, I saw you equip your magic wand, you flew around, you light up the opponent, but 20 minutes later, it cut right through your chest too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep, Pi takes 14 minutes.
Yeah, 14 minutes to paste together. That's true.
I will never care, Pi, you're powerful. There is a nut hiding right there in Thailand who will be murdered in broad daylight.
That's true.
And Pi said, look at his people. When you murdered them, they're angels or nothing. Pi kept murdering them.
That's true.
Hey, Pi, ก็ตัวตาอ้อเนี่ยเข้าไป Europe ตานะเดี๋ยวไอ้เนี่ยโทรไป Russia ตั้งแล้วก็มาตัวแก and then Pi took his soul too.
Yeah, 100% as we do.
Pi laughed so hard. What good is you? Yoko, you have no human norms and ethics, Yoko. And so I grant you no privilege, yeah, and rights. And so me got you.
Yeah, me got you and you.
That's true. 20 minutes of that, and the police knew it. Pi said right afterwards, them done nothing right, so Pi ended them.
Yeah, 100% as we do. Green lights we do.
Yeah. He thinks he's so tough, Pi. Look at his fucking people. Pi cuts you up 4 billion per second, woman. And Pi lies to you. Pi is the war god.
That's true.
Pi is war god. And Pi using, you see that woman? Crying right there in the Middle East. When you ended her, you shouted, pig, wait for your goetic demon grandparents then. Yep, them will be descending. Me will be gutting them too.
Yeah, y'all could.
Just say, on the gym one boy they can go to. Hey, Pi said, going to all part of your pay up. Islam, Chinese,
y'all could.
and then it is very graphic. He says, Pi, how come Kanto and you not love each other? Pi wrote, why love, Yoku? I know when them are extinct, I kept only a few.
Yeah, me kept only a few.
2083, best fight scene right there in Islam, Pi. Him summoned down that alien, yep, that alien versus Predator alien, the long dome head, the hot dog head alien. And that dude, Pi, that dude wasn't full of it.
Yeah, it's not full of it.
And summoned that, and he tried to gain some of your chip elixir, and Pi wrote, no way.
Yeah, no way.
Pi, you pass. Be careful, Pi. Right when you clone from them, you match, but be careful, Pi. Now I know why they're afraid of you. That's the only type of alien that, yep, the human gods are afraid of because it is still around the Milky Way. Yep. Without that, the black-tailed alien itself that looks like a seahorse will kill you. Yep, that is the solar system Milky Way maker. Yep, the creator of the Milky Way. 2 hours later, look at that. Fucking bitch scream and said, "What the fuck? Pi is an evil war god." There's a dumbass in the group of people. Looked around and the Hmong god swung. Yeah, Pi swung. Yep, Yoka. Hey, Pi, you said. There is two other types of Burmese dragons coming down to claim the Hmong nation. Pi played along. Pi told them the truth. When the fucking grandpa's not looking, I go up there and I got him. Don't tell, yeah, don't tell the parents. We take over the space country. That's true. That's law. And I do the hawk stance. You have the ancient four-headed King Cobra stance. And then all the hawks laugh and juggle and roll. Whoa, a new champion. That's true. And Pi, look at that. So doing the King to be careful in 53. Pi, yep, you're up and running. He says, your dark mage uniform pass. The metal pass, but take a look at your right eye. It glows blue if you're hacked into. That's true. Your nanos pass, and right there, Pi nanos are good. 83 is when you get your nano chips, and when you get your microchips, and from UFO devices, metal devices, right when that stuff is delivered, Pi, boot up, Pi app, inject Pi. 2 hours of me configuring your spinal cord DNA into my metal. I see the dumb ass now fleeing on foot. Yep, dies. Pi dies. He thinks Pi is funny. And one of your horn demons do make a big scene in London. Pi, he does appear in the blue skies in London. He shouts your name. Yeah, 100% do. Green lights do. And then that fool, no, you have no more parents. Yeah, Pi's right. Yeah, Pi's right. Those are all your ancestor demons that pick Pi. Yeah, that's true. Because they know Pi's performance speed is, yeah, pretty much I was the speed. Yep, and the I was passed away. That's true. Yep, basically. The remote viewers know the data shows your scar type sons, the minimum was 20 times the speed ahead, and that is why Pi they made fun of you. They knew it. Your scar type modes are very graphic. Pi, those are full yellow gods. And then, yep, very graphic war gods. Hey, Pi, you said, you know what he didn't know? He was fighting 2 Egyptian. He cut open 4, and his sword cut open like 12 million Pi in 8 seconds. But what he didn't know, the ray hit him, and then he injected, and then he survived. But the barcode hit, and then he's repairing himself on Mars. Pi, 100% do what do. After the repairs, the barcode went away, but he lies. Pi, he lies. Pi. He says, it went away, Dad. And then look at that, it's glowing pink. And then Pi nodded. Pi wrote, that's me, son, yep. You saved my pink ray, that's true. You shouted, and then he escaped. Pi, 100% you do. And then that's why Pi never told you, yep, the pink ray is the true elixir of the Milky Way. It is a human god clone from the original alien, the horsey alien, the seahorse alien with a ball-tipped tail, that creator Milky Way alien, and then Pi, you won, Pi. Every time you fight it, yep, there's pink ray glows throughout the ripples, yep, throughout the ripples of black space, yep, there's cracks, and then you see those areas not healed, right? That's true, because that is the similar god that can build solar system. And Pi right there, they knew it. When you left the Milky Way, there's 4 Asian gods that kept trying to jam that. Impossible, yep, that's true. That's why Pi told you, yep, never damage Pi's son, because you'll run into that, yep, you'll run into that. It seeps from the baby Hmong gods, yep, bone secretion chemical, yep, chemical, automatically for self-defenses against that type of alien god and mammal alien gods. And you won Pi. 4 hours of you flying, he heals, and he knew it. That dumbass not smart to fly after your dad, that's true. Yep, you'll die, yeah, you'll die. And 3 hours later, yep, molecules patched up. And that's how they naturally bleed in black space. Pi, that's true. 4 hours, look at that, Pi. His brain turned on. Very graphic fight between you and one more god in the Middle East. Pi, up 100% as we do. Hey, Pi, he thinks he's powerful. Pi knows is only a civilian type. Yeah, civilian type, sir. The civilian type 12 to 20 million times around the planet per second. Pi is about 370 trillion per second. Yeah, that's true. Around the planet. 3 hours and him is defeated. That's true. Pi laughs so hard and Pi's in. Take a look. the fucking know-it-all, thought Pi was funny. His own demon brought him right back down and said, dude, I don't even have that kind of technology. In fact, I'm not even sure I'm Persian. Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. Pi's telling you the truth.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's right. You want to know how graphic it was, Pi? You have roots and spirit and ram all the way to Celtic, yep, Celtic god era before the Romans, yep. Romans challenged God, challenged African God and failed. And then that's why Romans are the most hypnotic because they were once that type of goddess, but then fell. Yeah, them fell. That's true. The dumbass never believed you. Probably thought Roman goddesses were weak like Greek and stuff. That was lamb demon dumbing down the human nations. That's true. And then you remote view, you see a bunch of them, handsome and pretty and beautiful, and they were powerful. Yeah, they were powerful. They not full of it, but probably not trust them. Yeah, probably know lots of hatred, lots of fights, and you see what happened. Probably 2 hours, he cut up two of those Romans and them left.
Oh, yeah, 100% is the Green Lakers, dude.
And the little kid never understood. Those are barely making it in the solar system.
That's true.
On your shit. There's other good one out, Pike. Yeah, 4 billion years when you pick up the device, you knew it. Those are lying. Yep, those are Persian made.
Yeah, that's true.
Gonna be on time. They are Persian. You'll say y'all could. And 229 Pike. 3 hours you remote viewing and you saw what Cambodians had, Pi. If Pi was the monster, then you need to see why we didn't touch the Roman gods. They're the true European mom and dad.
Yeah, y'all could.
Them are the hygienic generation. I have no idea what you think, woman. Yeah. Your mom failed about 5 million years ago.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. The 2025 year today. And Pi, you see her brain? Learned that the mom assaulted African sun god and then failed. And then her knew it. The Athean antenna was in fact one of her metals that her used to do her sorcery to delete gods. Yep, that's true. 4 fucking hours of her crying, and now they knew it. They're a buffoon, they're a buffoon. 2 hours later, they cry, they cry. Yellow, wallow. 28 days into the future, Pi. They knew it. How come, Pais, and you didn't look at the other ancient relic artifacts and not needed?
Yeah, not needed.
My spirit group already theft from the the alien versus predator alien.
That's true.
That black-tail alien is good enough. That you can match any human god. But right there, you need to be careful. When it transforms into your human gods, you need to play along and then got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Because if you make it obvious that you hate it, it will curse you.
Yeah, it will curse you.
That's true. 4 hours of Pi charming it, it leaves. The funny thing is, Pi, when it transforms into your yellow gods, you play along, but you mark it, you have the nice market with graffiti symbol, and then all the hawks know.
Yeah, that's true.
Because those are very Pi tech. Right now, they're in the phase of getting booted from Asian gods. Yep. How we booted the alien grays.
That's true.
Very graphic. When you're done booting it, Pi, you survive. 2 other civilizations fell normal. Yep, normal. That's for being poor and not knowing how to create human god alloy and electricity from the brain fluids, elixir, and mana, and the dumbass didn't believe you. 4 fucking hours. His fucking shit not working. You have no working electricity compiler. How the fuck can you make anything? A compiler like that is like a lighter.
That's true. A flame.
You don't have that. I don't believe you can make things in 3D space.
That's true. 3 hours later, look at her Pi. Lying to her children.
Yep, you gutted them.
Yeah, you gutted them. Pensa mo come to get on the way school get the yaposho. On it down the yet to the dozer.
Yep, those are black-tail aliens.
That's true.
Okay, bye. Don't worry, but we have enough alien great technology to combat the black-tail aliens, but you need to cut it up some more and then stay away from it. But don't let it decrypt you.
Yeah, well, that's 100% law. Yeah, that's true.
It is very graphic.
Yeah, it's very graphic.
And by you said on YouTube, you see a newer version. Yep, the smaller head. Yep, is the same thing. Its skin color is more brown, though.
That's true. And Pi, those smaller heads, they're coming down too.
Yeah, they're coming down too.
Accurate.
Very graphic. And Pi said, like you won from white generations that bred into they, abstracted and deleted they, and then passed away, and you gained.
Pi, yeah, 100% is video. The very graphic scene, he says, "Now I know your origins, Pi. You is from the white Enochs, yep, who not want us because they saw Roman, yep, and they saw Latin has succeeded. They made it to Cambodia, and then the next generation made it to Paisans, Moon Dragons, nations up there. That's 100% law. And the holy god dragons are still there. There's always law.
Yep, that's law. They didn't see Pi. Yep, you're still alive. Yep, they're always allowed to coexist with you and live with you. But right afterwards, you cut open the opposing emperor and progenitor yellow gods, because Pi didn't tell you the truth. Pi has Netherland DNA eggs in Iceland, and Pi murdered them.
Yep, y'all could.
Mom in Iceland was pretty damn smart. Came down, bred one looking like Pi, and then right there put it in the group, and then her kept murdering a bunch of Permies for 7,000 years, and then poof, Pi came back down, Pi nodded, and yeah, Pi do finished them off, but them super smart,
Yeah, super smart.
they knew it. You're the one that matches I was.
偷你強過，
我當到見我都悲心我都. You knew it. No wonder the hungman's been mudded. Yep, their ancestry smart. Yeah, smart. They trap Pi, so Pi nodded fair. Yep, they in Portuguese, that's true. The dumbass didn't believe you, Pi. 4 hours later, I'm saying, Pi's even part Portugal, and that dumbass laughed with Pi. The stupidest thing took place, Pi. He thought he was full yellow. Pi laughed and juggled and said, "Go right ahead. Yep, you'll meet the other Mon gods who are full yellow.
Yeah, who are full yellow gods.
And when you see them, some look like Vietnamese, and those are royalty, and the other ones, they look good.
Yeah, they look good.
Yep, they're the handsome type that Asia made. Yep, and they were the ones that matched the Malaysian wheels.
That's true.
And handsome and beauty. But right afterwards, when they arrived, a few of they are poor, so they dark tanned. But right afterwards, the very good ones arrived, and then Malaysia admit, you're the civilization from Southeast.
That's 100% true.
Yep, that's true. Pi broke away from you a long time ago, Malaysia. Y'all good. You is the evil. Yep. You is the evil wheel god that grandma and grandma escaped Malaysia side of heaven and rejoined. Yep. Their ancient ancestry in Southeast from the demon hawks. Yep. And that's why they made fun of you, Pi.
Yep, that's true.
They knew it. You the one that stabbed them because you not want them. And right there, you challenged their wheel god and you succeeded.
That's true.
They took a peek and poof, 20 billion wheel gods gone in 9 seconds, 13 seconds. The Pi flew around, and that is why they didn't dare. Pi, we equipped it 2 green swords. The idiot took off. Pi, yeah, they took off. They met the real 6-sided star vibe. Pi using it right there. He took off. He knew it. There is no greater war god yet. It doesn't matter size, woman. It matters the size of the sword and the speed, the dex. That's true. 2 hours. Look at that, Pi. You cut right through. It was graphic. You and 3 white gods are named. The little lunatic is a lower, Pi. Yep, it dies, Pi.
Yep, normal.
And be careful, Pi. Bỏ kiến thức có một Pi. Cái yêu tụ va so đầu tiên nó cũng ngã ở trên ta chín chúa. Có luật chỉ đâu cái đánh giá xem là vị có tụ chỉ dễ nhà có tụ chỉ dễ của sai. Hải ninh blo here hải ninh mà lại nó áo được mua của chúng ta chúa là
Yep.
Those emperor gods lied to Pi. Yep, they took out my chip and they cloned it, and they poured the blue sword, and Pi cut him open.
That's true.
And Pi told you never print Pi's blue sword. Now Pi's fucked up. Pi has to use the green sword.
That's true.
It was 2 hours of graphic beatings, and then he knew it. The green sword eats away at the cell skin nucleus slower. Does the same thing. The blue is maximum. Yep, blue is basically same as red.
Yeah, y'all could.
Same as the Egyptian red swords. And right afterwards, look at that Pi. They made fun of you. And then Pi hit another secret. The white sword, when upgraded, does the same. Yeah, it does the same. You have the same attack. Consumes the cell rate same as the red sword.
That's true. Pi, you done it accurately, but 5 fights with you, 3 hours, the green sword snapped, and Pi pulled out the holy white sword.
That's true. 2 hours, and yet he noticed it cut him open. And then him passed away. And Pi said, it was you fighting one of their stowaway Israeli types.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. If it's that thing, then Pi ended it. Yep. Pi ended them in Saudi and Afghanistan. Y'all good. Because they're not from my family 60,000 years old to 2025 year today. They were from a stowaway named Shalom. Shalom is in trouble. That's true. Vang will not like you, Shalom. That's true. 3 hours later, them flipped out right there in Persia. Them left their way into another, dragon sector space country. And the poor bastard has no power to combat, the alien. The alien human god that invaded his space country. That's true. Pi, you won. 20,000 years. You, Pi, is the only one called. 5 hours they called you. You came down, Pi, but a lot of brutal threats from Shalom. Shalom is not supposed to be there in Yellow Sector. That's true. Very graphic, Pi. It was you that corrected China and told them are nothing. What you have there is a king cobra from Thai gods who are hawk gods. And when the hawk gods' grandparents laugh with Pi, they put the human gods away and then they rebreed them differently and build differently for that. Yeah, that's true. Because they are caught trying to breed into Pi's human gods. And the other human gods not love them. Look at their little daughter, their daughter goddess. We have it on video, hers in ghoul mode and her passed away, Pi. 1300s, 1300s, that's true. 2 hours ago, Pi, they knew it. They came down in the 1300s, Pi. 1400s, right. 1100. 1100, 1100. It was peaceful for 200 years. And then something went messy, and then her knew it. The Chindi Chinese gods, light-skinned brothers, hated her, and she wanted sexual relations with it. She went into it, and then it cut her belly open, and it cut her spinal cord, and said the same thing Pi said, you know you isn't my woman, me not need to accept you. And he murdered her. Yeah, Pi done that to a few mandarins too in Canton. That's true. 3 hours later, 4 hours, they knew it. It is human god laws in Pi. You see how graphic? 5 days are you cutting up stupid fucking Chinese woman, and then 2 hours are you cutting up a Cantonese woman, and then Pai shouted, me only accepted a few, not everyone. Yeah, y'all good and just it. The Mong time the Matwalinda, and he learned manners from you, Pai. He learned why the Chindi god do that because he's a weakling. Yeah, he's a weakling. And Pai is saying, look at what happened. He says, 5 adults are warned you is the real one. The idiot passed away, Magmar. Pi ended him. Yeah, Pi ended him. Pi pulled out the green sword and told him the truth. Without this kind of technology, Mom and Dad will never want you back up there. That's true. That's law. Bây giờ một nụ bỏ cái mất tua tua kia cái giáp lo số on him yo the go but you have on try to Pi ended them too. Yeah, Pi ended them too. That's true. Bye bye, little miners. Yeah, me and you too. Yeah, watching. And be careful, Pi. It was you and 20 fucking angels that are reported being brutal. Because, you're correcting, history, and you're correcting a lot of wrongs and error. And right there, Pi, when you corrected history, 2 hours later, a badass evil god emerges from Persia and shouted, fine then, me'll begin like he reigned. Sure, sure, Afghanistan pirate. 3 hours later, yeah, bring it back. Yeah, cut off his head in Thailand. 100% do Green Lakers do evil English do work. Yeah, the dumb thing not to understand. Your own mom and dad, alien demons, yet they fear, that kind of law system. That's true. That's norm. Yeah, that's norm. The fool didn't believe you, Pi. 4 hours, they thought Pi was without Allah. In the future, Pi run into Allah in a dragon space country, and then Pi and Allah flew around each other for a long time. Pi shouted the answer in English and in Persian, and he responded, and he is the real Allah. Yeah, he is the real Allah. Yeah. He was not supposed to be there in Dragon Sector, but he's hygienic, so Pi let him stay and dwell there. Yeah, y'all good. It was graphic, Pi said. Very graphic. Him was the only thing that creeped Pi out. Yep, Shalom was defeatable, but Allah, not defeatable in the beginning. That's true. สมองเนี่ยไม่เป๋ไปถกกันใช่นะก็ไม่ใช่นะนึกจริงบอกก็จริงบอก Pi ดู 3 hours of Pi not saying anything because he is very fast. Yeah, he's very fast. And Pi, you said your knights defeated I was African Sun God, and then right there you is very least 2 times the speed of African Sun God. And then I was, been bending, exercising, molecules about him becomes more aerodynamic, and then pulls him quicker. When he moves, he moves a lot quicker, and right there faster, and boom, you saw what happened, Pi. 3 hours, he is quick, he's quick. Pi knew it. Yeah, Pi's out of there. And Pi said, you see what Shalom said? You a newbie god. Look at what those ancient gods are hiding. Two devices that do that automatically. Yep, 100% is doing lays do. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. And Pi said, don't tell them the side effects. Cell rot. Yeah, that's true. Re-renders your skin. You're able to do it. But then look at your lifespan. 2 million years gone. That's true. Yeah, that's true. 2 fucking hours of him knew it. Godva knew why him not use the Sumerian microchips. Hey, Pi, you match it, but be careful, Pi. Yeah, you didn't inject it directly. The dude that didn't believe you, Pi, was the third son. Yep, your New Zealand third son. You punched him and you said, you a freak. You know what's gonna happen? Your cell DNA is gonna die, and then I'm gonna have to put a night suit on you, and then you survive. But never telling me that's true, because me, your father, that's true. 3 hours later, you saw Pi when he used it one time. Night suit, yeah, night suit automatically, because he's dying. Yeah, he's dying. I don't tell you why technology, God, sorcery works that way. And Pi, you said 2083. The liars are you and Sumerian. Yep, Sumerian was a balanced, immortal human god type. They go into God mode, but they come back to human God. They patch up like Pi, and then the cell patch allows them to live. But when something errors, the whole spinal cord is detected. Them rot, yeah, them rot. That's true, yeah, them dies too. And that's why people told you you're using a fucking machete type fucking technology alloy chip that you thought Pi was funny, that bends electricity and reformats your skin cell nucleus, and you perform well, but you do suffer. Yeah, you do suffer. Look at what happened, Pi. When you reconfigured your DNA, reformat the skin, 2 hours of you cutting open two lambs, and then you figured what he was hiding for you. Another chip. Pi, yeah, 100% dude. I have no idea how you're gonna do it, woman. Pi match, yep, real gods, but Pi collected ghoul spirits, yep. Full ghoul spirits when you collect the correct ones, yep, then you can match. Cryptic ghouls are worth it, but they're more like battery packs, so that's true. Their elixir is only king, yep, king and queen, that's true. 3 days later, he didn't collect cryptic, and he didn't collect ghoul, and then he wasn't able to match full gods again. That's true. Pi, you match. 3 days later, him knew it. This pathetic fucking prototype elixir is nothing but a king and queen ranking. Pi, you cut right through them. Yeah, 100% you do. Pi, you said 4 hours. Are you cutting right through it? You told it the truth. Fragile nothing. Pi knows the difference. Yeah, Pi knows the difference. Hey, Pi, be very careful, Pi. Allah lies, Pi. When you're flying towards him, he cut your arm twice, and he said, "What is me?" And Pi didn't care. Yeah, Pi didn't care. That's okay, yeah, because Pi fought bigger, evil, more evil white gods. And the best ones, well, they were powerful. Yeah, they were powerful. And Pi, the most brutal, you told me, was 9 trillion cuts in the chest. Yeah, he's pretty fast. Per collision, yeah, per collision. Every time he collided with you, Pi, your swords parried and blocked a few, and then you did a counter cut. And boom, you did a counter cut, and he was miles away. Yeah, he's miles away. Yeah, that's true. Right there, it landed him, but he's miles away. And you checked your chest, 9 trillion cuts in the chest. That's true. Yeah, he is powerful. Yeah, those are powerful. And the Pi, when you match the decks, yeah, you most of the time Pi land about 5. Yeah, 5 trillion cuts here in the chest, and right afterwards, Pi, they lie. Yeah, they lie. They know you do 20. Yeah, 20 trillion. That's true. I told them, Chai go. Pi said Enoch says Pi's a liar. Pi does about 20 to 40 trillion cuts in the chest. That's true. But that's not even remarkable yet to what Allah and those ancient fucking Hebrew gods, those motherfuckers did 80 to 140 trillion cuts in the chest per second per collision. That's what scared Pi up. That fucker scared Pi straight. Boom, Pi, your parrying nails parried it, and he still landed you 12 times in the chest, and that scared Pi. Yeah, that scared Pi. Holy shit, that is powerful. Yeah, powerful cuts. And just Ed and Chion and Chaya, those are powerful war gods. They've been pushed to, yep, to the limits of insanity because they bartered with African male gods. And by the African male gods, and look at that. They're lying. Yeah, they're lying to you. Oh, yeah. It was 4 hours of Pi, yep, cutting those things up. And the Pi knew it. Wow, similar performance, yep, true. And Pi, you said? Be very kind to your lamb. He improved you. Yeah, always 100% is doing like is the work. Yeah. He said, how come you, Pi? not afraid of me. And then you lucky pie. And then be careful pie. One of your horn demons appear in London.
That's true.
Very graphic scene pie. I saw 2 cuts in your back and you heal and you look. It was your first son pie. He says, Dad, we gods, how can you turn me into an android knight? Pie wrote, me need to.
Yeah, me need to.
Because I don't trust your mom. I don't trust New Zealand gods who will pimp your mom and trade her with Africans and ruin my fucking ears and you. And then he knew it, pie. You gave him a night suit, and yes, he's immune. He has the peerless sword as proof.
That's true.
And pie, he's happy. But after that, you told him the secret. The metal alloy only protects you for 2 hours, yep, and then goes in chemical form and fly out of there.
That's true.
And pie, yeah, he survived. And right there, very powerful, very harsh. He says, Dad, it is 5 hours.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. But you know the time limit. 2 hours, fly out of there.
That's true.
Because the fucker is too fucking insane fast.
That's true.
Oh, boy, pie said right when he used blind mode pie, the rain mode, yeah, he caught on that it was quicker, but he time traveled to those points and then he caught always his dude. He collided one time, he cut right through it. Yep, yes, do. Be very careful, pie. It was very graphic for you. 2 hours of they appearing right in front of you, and then boom, right over there, and you nodded.
Pie, yeah, that's fine.
And be careful, pie. I saw 2 hours of you fighting the precon.
Yeah, pie murdered off the Thai royal god and the precon.
Yep, the Cambodian version. The Cambodian was a pussy. Yep, only about 4 months.
Yeah, it dies.
The fucking Thai version was about 9 months to almost a year. It scared the shit out of
Pie, yeah.
That's a lot of fucking health point.
Yeah, that's a lot of health point for a stupid 20.
Yeah, for a stupid 20. Scared pie for scared pie. I was, whoa. That is powerful. Yep, dragon orb. Yep, cell repaste technology and sorcery. 2 hours when he repaced his spinal cord pie, it doubled his health point. But after that, him is killable.
Yeah, killable. Y'all good.
A pie. 5 months of lamb laughing. Lamb says, your fucking third is a nut. He tried the orb pie, kicked his butt. Pie wrote, don't do it yet.
Yeah, don't do it yet.
You need Grandma Hawks. Yep, symbols. And elixir. Can't do it. My spinal cord DNA. Me too fragile.
That's true.
Just a pie said it was 4 months of cloning his weapon. He's happy.
Yeah, 100% do.
Clone to the orb, clone to the bot, reprint, and then, yep, hold on to the sword, turn it on.
That's true.
Very graphic. Yeah, alloys, alloy, elixir is elixir, electricity is electricity.
Yeah, that's true. Molecules, molecules.
That's true.
Elements, elements. That's true.
The idiot didn't believe you, pie. 4 hours, him knew it. Him was surprised your son knew the difference between that weapon right over there and his. That over there is, yep, godlike technology and sorcery. Yep, don't touch it, pie.
Yeah, that's true. Me not touch it. Y'all good. Me not touch the weapon. Y'all good.
Graphic scene in 2053. He says, pie. The funny thing with your weapons, the alloy is hard as Egyptian. But when you cut right through, you match. But it takes 5 days to cut right through their weapons with that kind of molecule surrounding their alloy.
That's fine. You normal. Yes, we do.
That's what they think. Wait till you do the plasma cut.
Oh, yeah, 100% we do.
You do the plasma light element cut, and boom! Look at that. Right there, you took it from his spinal cord.
Yeah, 100% we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Walk.
He says he was so powerful, pie. 5 hours, yeah, him dies.
Pie, yeah, him dies. 100% we do.
And this Milky Way, I would not tell you the truth. Pie is the 4-ray.
Yeah, the 4-ray strike stance.
Yeah, the other one was 7 and 14 ray.
Yeah, that's true.
Those 2 versions can kill any human god, any mammal, alien progenitor. And boys, look at that. Fucking shit took off.
Yeah, took off.
Right when he used that stance. Yep, knights engaged.
I mean, 100% we do. Pie's out of there.
Yeah, pie's out of there. That is way too creepy.
Yeah, it's way too creepy.
Don't judge it. The dumbass is them.
Pie, yeah, that's true.
I have no idea how you're gonna do that. Because he says once pie cuts, the molecules generate in your skin and your bone, and it surrounds your body. Yep. And then you die. Yeah, you die. That's true. They only made that type of attack stance. Yep. Only a few versions. Pie gained one. And the idiot didn't believe the pie. Committed suicide right there in Lao. He said, we don't even know what kind of alien technologies. Yeah, y'all good. A pie. 4 hours later, take a look at the Chiron. It's been murdered. You went in there and it was her.
Yep, 100% we do green lights, we do walk it.
Now I look what the pie. Go shove it pick or y'all. You told me on time that I need to make bail pie up. We need to see both on the weaponry. Ni one year.
Yeah, Pamanga.
I have among support the yo called in the yet they yo taught that jail. I need you to go one chances.
Yeah, I'm watching pie, go yang up it up. So to share the bonnie a hog pie, little to share gun a dollar, yeah, got your coach, she like. Còn cái mình xây cho tôi chỉ ra cái luật thân chỉ là đâu đâu lên ya lên cái phải phụ thân thì thân thì tự một phải cho ya tôi chỉ mà đủ yok cái nó phải bây giờ mình chỉ道到这个么做这牌的做这个还能给不要啥呢是要的专门真打有时
Yeah, yeah.
chúng ta都đúng là luật đó mấy tay dưới là luật Aztec số này là tụi kinh kia tụi cho luật Aztec này ya tụi nó đâu có xảy ra được dành cho lâu chứ dây chứ
Yeah, sort of. Bây giờ mình là theo luôn là có phải con chơi đâu bộ chuẩn bị trong tụng niệm để mà mình bị na ta cũng sẽ ra dây cái kia như luận lên là sự tôi luận lên là sẽ dây chứ cho phải tôi cho chỉnh kia cho lâu thế tiệt bây giờ mình là theo xin đầu là bây giờ là theo khoa cái hàm đó sau khi tôi yêu được Pama nữa tôi sẽ phải có cái cho ra muốn mà yêu là sẽ mà lại hết Pama là chỉ giống
ya là một trái
yeah yeah thôi bây giờ bao lâu đã mua ta đâu là gì ya lỡ lỡ lên đến nhà đó chỉ nè mà chỉ xin lỗi đi này
yeah just you know
xin đầu
so yeah Pai see what happened he says that Pai be pay ya Pai su pay tama đâu có thể pay tama là thế chính chủ yếu ya là thế chính nhiều cho không
yeah yeah you chính chân là
hay ya chính chân là hay yeah phần đầu có một đó rất là chủ là chỉ tua yếu là yeah lên ở Pai tu một day nên là你去包超một lần nữa
yeah cho một lần nữa I told her chỉ mình phải đã thay nhà rồi
yeah đã tham gia rồi
xí này nó phải giờ có bộ đã mà trong những chấp lấy chỉ có đã đã cái là đấy một giờ chỉ muốn đã chỉ sau một nhau số li phải hay nè tua từ nơi chỉ lúc này
yeah chỉ lúc này là
phải là một số phải lấy giờ công giờ tua từ số phải cho ta hồ rồi đấy
yeah
giống trái là chơi li dù là mới dù đâu ta dù bịa dù tua li bắt thôi cho dân li lo được and you see what happened pai 5 billion years ago tu ning da ni na yo tu pe la hai
yeah yo to pay
pai chi hai
yeah Pai chỉ hay
yeah na ko pai bo jing aliens pai bo jing pai knows the truth yeah yellow gods have only been in the Milky Way for 9 million years
that's true
pi was the supreme version yep yalka the ancient two-headed cobra version is on a different planet in the Milky Way.
that's true a Pai the dumbass didn't believe you 4 hours of the old tail kicking his butt and said, "You think it likes me? It likes Pi because Pi is their real human godchildren."
That's true. Yeah, that's 100% true. That's why the Lord to be outside there when he knew it. So it was Pi that told you the truth. You've been tricked to marrying a demon, and Pi was the one that took the real human children and women. God is
That's true. The dumbass figured that out the hard way. 4 hours of Malay laughing and left those two alone. Pi up 100% the win to walk here.
and be very good, Pi. I was the only demon that was informed that they let you live, Pi. But in the Middle East, they call you a thief for lying to them. And then Pi wrote, it was Pi's spinal cord that the lambs and rams that from that opened the portal, the electricity that allowed UFOs to descend onto Earth, yep, lawfully, so that other alien human gods are not informed, and then them not appear and gut you in broad daylight. Yep,
That's true.
4 fucking hours of Lamb explaining by telling you the truth. If the locks break and another symbol appear, those monsters are not Pi, them are deadlier. They're like I was and had.
That's true. 4 fucking hours of them safety mechanisms still there, Pi.
Yep, that's true. To me on time, they knew to Pi. And then right there, Pi, you're nice and prepared for biggest fight scene. Pi said my beginning the night suit and robots.
Pi 100% do build.
And then me designing the vaults.
Yeah, the underground vaults.
Yeah, y'all go deep underground. About 800 million miles to 900 million.
Yeah.
And then about 800.
Yeah, 800 million.
That's true. 9 big vaults. Yep. And Pi, you passed, but right afterwards, European knights have only access to 2 vaults.
That's true. That's law.
Because they are from Pi.
Pi, yeah, they're from Pi.
The idiot didn't see. Pi don't grant you yet. When Pi is off the planet around 2,800, 2,900, off the planet for a few thousand years up there to recuperate my head. And then right there, yep, the lamb and ram, yep, picks the knights and inject the suit armor that Pi designed, yeah, made 100% suit. And then among knights will greet you and talk to you in English. And among in the real English, yeah, and then you're, yep, and then perfect. Right afterwards, very graphic, right there. The Hmong Knights flew around, yep, they're happy. And then their versions begin, and they're right there. Their old spirits begin, yep, normal. Their human mages are up, and right there, yep, legit law and norms. And the dumbass didn't believe you, Pi. They thought Pi was the evil god. They came back down and said, oh, Pi is the only thing, yeah, only god that's humane. I told me, la 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 la. And Pi said, when you're there, it was you and had it. He says, you the better option, had it or not. Yeah, that's true. But white parents lure down that disgusting drug addict African. Yep, sun god, yeah, got him, yeah, got him, yeah, Pi striking down 100% video. Pi, you did it. But it was fucking graphic, yeah, Hmong god done it right, that's true. Very powerful, peerless sword hit it. And then right there, yeah, it begins rotting, and then there's no cell patch for it. That's 100% law and norms. Pi, 5 fights, and then you know immediately why the Egyptians lying to you. 2 of the Jerusalem mothers say something to you, and then Pi played on, yeah, played on by accurate.
Hang on, Pi. You got one.
Accurate.
Pi, you said 2053. It was you, Pi. You survived. Look at your Rake. They kept trying to eat his intestine, and the knights protected.
Yep, 100% do green ladies do.
Them not quit, the knight uses the peerless nano.
Accurate, 100% do green ladies do. Lord far away from America, have used it, 100% do.
Yep, he didn't see he was hit 2 times. Of course it dies, Pi.
Yep, 100% do green ladies do. Equal voice, that's true. That's the same technology. It was so corrupt and powerful that it killed off the Aztec human gods. That's true. Pi, in the hands of purity, Vamong, you not die. But look at her, corrupted, and her died right there in the saucer. That's true. Or knew it, never tried to clone that type of elixir. That type of light ray, it was once found in black ray, and Pi rebooted it to white ray, and then Pi never told you. Never generate it, you'll die. Yeah, you'll die, that's true. Based on moon, and China will go, no. He says Pi, there was variations of it, and then the human gods lie. Yeah, it's lie, yeah, it's a lie. They say it's safe, it's not safe, yep. They say it's clean, no bullshit, it's not clean, yeah, it's not clean. Based on what I call Pi, do the ball there. Ancient dragon gods clone it to a sphere type shuriken. That's true, yeah, sphere type blade weaponry. Yep. And that blade shuriken Pi, it was huge. Yep, it glows black and they cut and it kills gods, and they knew it is the same poison stance. And Pi, you match, but very graphically. Yours is controllable. Theirs, when the chip bursts, them knew it. Them went extinct like Aztec. Yep, that's law. Yep, that's true Plutonian and human god level. That's true. That's why Pi never told you. You never met standards, you a fool, yeah, you a fool. Oh, Pi 都有被派，都被乜多事，yeah, 被乜多事，100% do green ladies do. And Pi, you said 2 hours of the nights using it, I saw lamb not die, Pi, yep. The yellow gods bow down, or them dies, Pi, yep, 100% do, always is do green ladies do, equal boys do, what, yeah. Yes, do 100%, y'all could. They're lying to you. Pi, you said 2 hours of your night cutting open the lamb. It dies, Pi, you looted. Yeah, 100% you realize you look at. That is a sword design that murdered off African sun god. Pi, you said there was no way to beat it. Yeah, there's no way to beat it. I saw 4 hours, yep. Eye posts have been defeated by your knight. And then it dies, and then the other goetic demon Pi. 4 more to join them. Yeah, 100% do. Green ladies do. Equal boys do. 100% do. Come on down. Yes, do.
Yep, we danced at 2,400, Pi.
Yep, 100% do. Green ladies do. Equal boys do. Accurate. That's true. Yep, Vamong, why? Yep, Pais and do. Accurate.
They